Friday forecast time. University of Northern Iowa comes to town, Sean. But before we get to the Panthers, let's talk about the Buffaloes of Colorado. What a Saturday night. You could still feel it early in the week here in Lincoln. That's a Saturday people will remember for a long, long time.
Yeah, Nebraska laid really an early knockout to Colorado to jump up 28-0 at the half. And the day, the night, it delivered. And it's been a long time, Andy, where Nebraska has hosted a marquee, nationally televised night game in Lincoln where the Huskers have gotten up for it. And they've really put on a good performance to the point where they enter the rankings for the first time since 2019.
Yeah, first time in 5 years. Let's see if they can move up now. You know, Matt Rule made it a point on Monday saying there's losing football, there's winning football, and there's championship football, saying that his team right now is playing winning football. How do they get to the next level?
Well, I think it's the details and understanding, you know, getting out and making those key edge blocks on plays, not taking a penalty, tightening up your special teams play, whether it's the kick coverage or the kickoff locations or the long snaps. Those small little details are the difference. And we know a lot of these games are one-possession games because we've lived a lot of them over the years. And for Nebraska to get over the hump the other direction, those are the small pieces that Matt Rule has to help this team improve. And I think he was pretty honest with his team after the Colorado one. Great win, but look at these things, guys. We're not going to beat some of the other teams. I mean, Illinois coming in here a couple weeks, they just beat Kansas, and Illinois has forced more turnovers than anybody in college football right now.
Yeah, it's got to play into Matt Rule's plan because, yeah, they won the game and they did it convincingly, but yet there's a laundry list of things to fix. I want to ask you about what you thought they did well Saturday night. What were you most impressed with Nebraska?
Well, I thought they established a line of scrimmage early, and I knew going in that's where Nebraska had some significant advantages, and the way they got after Shedeur Sanders, and then the way they ran the ball early. I thought those two pieces stood out, and they got one of their more impactful turnovers we've seen in a football game in a while, that early especially, when you can pick off Shedeur Sanders for a touchdown. He just doesn't usually make mistakes like that, and for Tommy Hill to kind of bait him and take that pick six, I mean, those were big moments that really made the day just go easy after that.
Yeah, an early gift from Colorado. The first return touchdown in terms of an interception since Cam Taylor-Britt did it 5 years ago against Iowa. John Bullock, man, he is having a good start to his final year here in Lincoln.
Yeah, John Bullock, the 6-year senior from Creighton Prep, contemplated on wanting to even come back for a 6th year. Thank goodness he did. I mean, he has played just lights out. He's a key special teams player as well, but some of the little things he did, like he set up that interception that Tommy Hill had. There was another drive where he had pressure and then he had a pass breakup on back-to-back plays. John Bullock single-handedly affected multiple different plays in that football game.
Yeah, he also stopped a 4th and 1 in that second half. Can't believe we've gotten this far and haven't talked about Dylan Raiola. We got to talk about him before we talk about UNI. Matt Rule very complimentary to about his freshman quarterback, saying he really sets the intensity level. He wants his offense to reach or match the level of preparedness that their quarterback, the true freshman, brings to the table every week.
Yeah, Dylan Raiola, no turnovers through 2 games. That's probably the most important stat. He's also completing close to 75% of his passes, which, when's the last time through 2 games a Husker quarterback could say that? So the completion percentage, the way he takes care of the football, the way he manages things, and that's where he needs to grow. I know Matt Rule talked about this, the play clock, letting it wind down a little bit more, to not have given Colorado maybe another possession. Those are the things he'll learn and grow from as a quarterback, but there's no doubt he is years ahead of your typical true freshman.
Yeah, Matt Rule saying that Dylan Raiola knows all 160 plays in that game plan last week, that everybody on the offense should know all those 160 plays that the freshman quarterback does. Let me ask you about UNI. This is a kind of a weird game, right? Right before Big Ten play, you know Illinois is waiting for you on that Friday night. This is one of those interesting matchups because this will make UNI's season to come here and give Nebraska a game, albeit and collect a big paycheck. How does Nebraska approach this Saturday?
You know, UNI, I think, is a great matchup for Nebraska because, first of all, they're not going to be able to throw down the field. They are not a throwing team. They're a running team. Well, guess what? Nebraska's very good against the run. They're very physical on their front seven. So from a pure matchup perspective, I don't look at this as one of those trap games where, like, oh boy, Nebraska's going to has a chance to lose to the FCS team. Now they are ranked at 21, but I think that's more a reflection of just the totality of FCS football right now. It's more and more teams have moved up to FBS. 4 of the Dakotas are ranked in the top 10 right now in their latest poll, and they're all in the same conference as UNI. So that conference is a juggernaut. Farley has been the head coach of Northern Iowa for a long time, and this is also Troy Dannon's kind of homecoming game with his original school coming to Lincoln here to take on the Huskers.
Yeah, Ty Edwards is their big running back. He runs it for almost 10.5 yards a carry. As a team, they almost run it for 300 yards a game. So in the first 2 games, you had a couple spread teams. This is your old-fashioned, let's try to run the football. It's going to be an interesting test for the Black Shirts up front to really get physical before Big Ten play.
Yeah, and UNI, too, hasn't played anyone real outstanding in their first 2.
St. Thomas and Valpo.
And St. Thomas was Division II, and they just transitioned to 1. So it's not like they have put up big numbers on quality competition. So this will be a huge jump for them, especially coming here. But yeah, for Nebraska, stopping the run is key number 1 this week, and then making it a game again where ideally you can play more players.
Okay, what do you expect from the fans this week? Are you going to call for another field rush? Because I know it was your fault that the fans rushed the field, right?
Yeah, look, that was the first field rush, I think, in 30 years.
Right.
I think '94 season might have been the last field rush we've seen at Memorial Stadium that I know of. So we got one, and I'm not sure we'll see one again for a while, but that was a special moment, a special night. 3 night games in a row, Andy, for Nebraska. That hasn't happened since 2008.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one, even though it's going to be a kind of a unique matchup. It's Nebraska and University of Northern Iowa on Saturday night. It's a 6:30 start on the Big Ten Network at Memorial Stadium.